Okay, with 5 days left before the official launch of Phase 3, we're getting news constantly about what's coming soon. More data mining that answers many questions, more class tuning and runes, some clarifications from the devs over on Twitter, and World of Warcraft as a whole on how it's dominating the gaming space right now. My name's Scott for the Comeback Kids. This is your season of Discovery News. Grab a cup of coffee, sit down. We got a lot to discuss. By the way, if you're interested in leveling up efficiently and finding your runes quickly and painlessly as possible, check out in the description below our Rested XP link. Not only by doing this, you support the channel, but you gain direct benefits as well. It's literally the best guide out there for World of Warcraft. I promise, won't be disappointed. Okay, have you ever given somebody a gift for Christmas and you're just really excited for them to open it up? I think that's kind of how the developers are feeling right now when it comes to Phase 3. We have content creators all over the place making videos about what's to come and how excited they are. And with that being said, though, they did want to make it very clear over on Twitter that not everything we are seeing is 100% real. Items in particular will have stat changes before they go live, as well as runes and that sort. Now, when this sort of thing happened with Phase 2, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of what we saw from the data mining actually went through when it comes to runes and weapon types and armor types that we were expected to see, but the exact stats and weapon DPS and all that may have been off. But at the end of the day, a lot of what was data mined was coming through in terms of the items, not the exact stats, so just make sure to keep that in mind when you're seeing all this information. Additionally, I know the class balancing right now, specifically at level 40, is all over the place in terms of, you know, PvP and raiding, and we haven't gotten any class changes or updates in a few weeks, and I know a lot of people out there are starting to panic. The developers wanted to emphasize that the phase launches next week, and with the new runes coming into play as well, the meta will be completely upended, so trying to tweak things right before that happens doesn't seem like a particularly good use of time, which I do have to agree that just seems kind of counterintuitive to make changes right now when you'll have to do it in like a week and a half or so. To emphasize this even more, Agron stated that there are class adjustments coming with the patch also. If you remembered, in our previous video, we actually went through a ton of class changes for pretty much every class out there, but in particular, the Shaman is actually getting nerfed pretty hard right now, which is to no one's surprise. In particular, Rockbiter weapon and its attack power scaling, Lava Lash's damage done, as well as some of the other things for Spirit of the Alpha as well, seem to be a great place to start with that class, but other adjustments for other classes are coming. Be prepared for that. Moving on, though, I personally have been doing some digging inside of all the data mined information on Wowhead, and I found some very interesting things I want to go over with you all today. Starting off, it looks like Ghost Wolves could be coming in next phase for Shaman. The reason I think that is because the Feral Spirits ability actually got data mined, which summons 2 Spirit Wolves under the command of the Shaman for 45 seconds. A couple other reasons to believe this is coming is we actually found some ability effects, including Shaman Pet Scaling, and a passive being added called Spirit Hunt, which causes your Spirit Wolves' attacks to heal them and their master for a percentage of the damage done. Now, of course, we don't know if this is 100%, but it would definitely be interesting to see inside a Season of Discovery, considering all the runes that we are acquiring as of right now are mostly like basic offensive and rotational based stuff. I'm sure all of you know out there that Feral Spirits is a very major offensive cooldown for an enhancement shaman, so that does lead me to wonder, if shamans are getting an offensive cooldown that's very big and major, wouldn't it be normal if everyone else starts to get some very powerful cooldowns? I mean, for example, a paladin may be getting Avenging Wrath. I mean, we already saw Feral Druids get Berserk last phase, so something like this doesn't seem too far-fetched at all. So that's something definitely you want to keep an eye out on when it comes to your class, maybe what could be coming in the future for you. Moving on, we also data mined an ability called Throw Concoction, which throws a bubbling cauldron at an area to cause an explosion of noxious gas and does not break stealth. Reading this makes me instantly think this is for the rogue and could potentially give you an area of effect, almost like AoE poison damaging type of ability that you can use before you enter combat, which seems really, really cool and fits the theme of rogue perfectly in classic WoW, in my opinion. For Warlock tanks, we actually found Infernal Armor, which is on a 1-minute cooldown, that infuses you with demonic energy, reducing all magic damage you take by a percentage equal to your physical damage reduction from armor. Now, it does say that it does require a druid here, but I do think that's just a typo error, considering the ability is called Infernal Armor and has a picture of Kill Jaden on it, so that could be a really solid defensive cooldown for Warlock tanks when it comes to fighting magic-based bosses. And lastly, when it comes to class changes, I saved the best for last, which is actually for the Warrior. This ability is called Meat Hook, which throws out a hooked chain to restrain the target and pull them toward you, working almost like a Death Knight's Death Grip ability. The reason I think this is for Warrior is because if you look at what it costs 15 Rage. I gotta tell you, I think Warriors could be very, very happy to see this embedded into the kit because from a class fantasy perspective, they haven't really gotten anything cool or amazing at all, like Blade Storm, Heroic Leap, Titan's Grip, so I feel like this may change their minds and it may be a great addition heading into Phase 3. Additionally, if you're a Druid player out there, it looks like you're going to eat next phase really good, because no more Wolfshed Helmet, no more Crowd Pummeler, because we just got some amazing news. It looks like it's been data mined that there are brand new Druid-specific items inside of next phase that supply you with these effects as enchantments or on-use effects, rather than having to have those items equipped. For example, we have the Wolfshed Trophy, which permanently enchants any helmet slot to give you 20 energy or 5 rage when you shapeshift in cat or bear form. And we also have the brand new Catnip consumable, which increases your attack speed by 50% for 30 seconds, which is supplied from the Emerald Warden's rep at being honored. This right here is a massive game changer for Feral Druid DPS overall, and it will allow them to continue to get brand new weapons and helmets, so a very, very major W for Druids here. Now, additionally, when it comes to Guardian Druid tanks, Agrin was asked over on Twitter about the Gore rune, stating that Lacerate will lower the cooldown of Mangle, but of course, if you know, Lacerate and Mangle share the same rune slot, which absolutely makes no sense. And this user was then asking for some clarifications. Agrin, of course, responded to this and stated that Lacerate and Mangle's placement was honestly just an oversight, and currently it's a tricky fix at the moment, but it's something they're investigating, and hopefully they can talk about more soon. So that could mean, ladies and gentlemen, that Mangle and Lacerate could be used at the same time and maybe be on different rune slots, which would drastically change the class overall and increase their DPS big time. It would also make their rotation feel a lot more fluid. That would be a very, very big win for an underperforming spec. And lastly, for the discussion about class additions, it seems some players out there are making a case for Gladiator Stance Warrior performing very well next phase. Concussion Blow on a 45-second cooldown to stun you. You have improved Shield Bash, a strong disarm, can use retaliation with having to stance. I mean, there could be a case that Gladiator Warriors could perform very well inside a dungeon environment, and maybe, just maybe, can be the next speed-running tank for the meta inside of Season of Discovery next phase. I mean, you Warriors are going to have to let me know what you think about it in the comment section below, because you're going to have to try out Gladiator Stance. You got the brand new Meat Hook. I mean, I'm going to be honest, I always love the idea of Gladiator Stance being in the game to pump out a little bit more damage while you know, supplementing some defense. I think it was a really, really cool idea. You guys got to let me know about it, because you're getting some options now in PvP as well as PvE. Something very, very hot in the community right now is that Blizzard put out a developer post the other day stating that there will be free character transfers to move off of Chaos Bolt if players wanted that as an option, and it caused a very, very massive controversy in the community about that server's general health and the developer's decision making that change. They actually stated that when Season of Discovery first launched, they reassured us that there was no wrong choice for realms that you chose, and that if any realm's population started to fall disproportionately, they would enable free character transfers off that realm. They held that promise and opened up the free character transfers off Chaos Bolt, but here's the kicker, guys. You can only then transfer to Crusader Strike US in one other realm, and to double up on that, there are officially no more characters allowed to be created on Chaos Bolt. So to break this down in very simple terms, they're allowing you to transfer off the server to only high-populated 2 realms, and they completely cut off character creation, essentially just eliminating the server as a whole, and this has caused a massive issue within the community under the forums, in my comment section, everywhere I go constantly, players are stating to save Chaos Bolt because countless threads are talking about the issue and wondering if it's going to be fixed or adjusted because players aren't happy. So many other people voicing their opinions, saying things like the server was perfectly fine, the population was fine, the community was truly endearing, and we don't want to play on mega servers. Other players are fine with the decision, but simply asking for other destinations rather than Crusader Strike and some of these other mega servers because they just want to go on, you know, a smaller realm, stating that it's actually a death sentence. Overall, I think it's important to remember that the developers here don't want to do anything to intentionally harm the gameplay experience for people, and they're just trying to do what's best for everyone else overall. So their intentions are always good, but I do have to agree that if they're opening up the realm transfer option, why not simply just open up the realm transfers to all realms? And I don't really see the purpose in locking the servers because that essentially means you can't make any more characters, and that realm is dead. That realm is going to be destroyed now. I mean, could you imagine if you're playing on the realm you are right now and you cannot make any more characters? I would be absolutely livid. All the gold that I farm, all the materials, the professions, characters, runes, everything, I can't use it to help boost up my other characters on a seasonal server. And I'm going to be honest, I don't love that decision here. And I'm hoping that, you know, something gets adjusted about this or addressed soon because players are going through it right now on Chaos Bolt. Hopefully they at least allow characters to still be created on this realm because people's entire lives for the last 6 months are on that realm, and if they want to stay there and want to continue to play there, they should be allowed to. Additionally, moving on to other WoW news, and this is something we're going to talk about in a long-form video very soon, but it's primarily to discuss WoW's future and the sub count it's at currently. Now, constantly throughout the years, players are stating that World of Warcraft is dying, or it's already a dead game, it's bad, it's not good, which seems impossible to even ponder on this since it's, you know, been the biggest MMORPG out there since its release. But all jokes aside though, it just really feels like World of Warcraft is inevitable at this point. Now, with the World Soul Trilogy being announced at BlizzCon, with this graph, it shows that the subscriber count decline is dramatically slowing down, and there's been a higher rate of subscriber recovery with content updates such as Season of Discovery, Cataclysm Classic being announced, as well as other versions of WoW being out like Hardcore. The most shocking thing about this graph, though, is that in World of Warcraft, we are currently experiencing a record post-launch stability and growth, and we really haven't even seen the real juice of the player count come back, which tends to happen around when a retail expansion drops. So I assume that as we start heading into the later time this year, where Cataclysm's released as well as The War Within is coming out, we're going to be in the best time World of Warcraft has had in over the last 10 years, which is absolutely incredible news. I know we all like to meme about WoW dying and them needed to, you know, do something different, but ladies and gentlemen, the truth of the matter is that World of Warcraft subscriber count is absolutely pumping right now, and long-form health of the game is going to continue to grow as all these different versions of WoW come together to form almost like this perfect harmony of a community. Not only that, though, it seems that there's even more to come very soon, because unless you've been living underneath a rock lately, the brand new Plunderstorm mode has been released in retail, which has almost worked like a highly skill-based battle royale mode, and it's being very, very well received from the public, leading us to believe that they're going to expand upon it very soon and elevate it drastically, like Blizzard always does with pretty much everything they copy. Additionally, though, we even got an announcement from Holly Longdale stating that there will be more World of Warcraft experiences to come soon. She wrote a brief article stating about how they're so happy everyone's enjoying the new experimental Plunderstorm mode, and that in Dragonflight Season 4, they have another experiment up their sleeves for us to play. They state, and I quote, "We hope those of you who are looking for PvE-focused content will enjoy what we are planning, all while we're continuing to press forward on development for our next expansion, War Within," which maybe leads us to believe that there's going to be a brand new PvE-based mode being embedded in World of Warcraft very soon, which has me very excited to see what's coming next for that. The point of what I'm trying to say here, ladies and gentlemen, is that all these things coming together can create such a healthy subscriber count for WoW as we start heading into the future. I mean, there could be record-breaking stability, which is a really, really big thing for the community and the game as a whole. And moving forward, I mean, hopefully they continue to build off of this and create new modes, test out things, and try things that are new. I think people love new things like Season of Discovery, you know, this Plunderstorm thing, the new retail expansions. People want fresh, exciting new World of Warcraft, and having it all come together is a really beautiful harmony. And finally, it was announced yesterday that Cataclysm's beta development is underway, and levels 80 through 85 is now enabled and available for testing. So essentially that means that all the zones are now unlocked, as well as dungeons, quests, stuff like that, professions, and I'm sure a lot of content creators are going to be streaming that as well. I mean, are you guys going to be playing Cataclysm, by the way? Personally, I'm not really too interested at the moment, because I'm so caught up in Season of Discovery, as well as, like, you know, retail WoW every once in a while. So I honestly just don't even have time to, like, play or even consider playing Cataclysm at this point. There's just so much I want to do personally inside of Season of Discovery. I mean, there are over 4 or 5 different characters that I'm dying to play on, and that's a pretty big problem. I mean, I've never in my history of WoW playing wanted to play 4 characters at the same time. Honestly, it's leaving me more stressed than anything, but it is what it is. It's awesome. Don't forget, if you have something to comment about Season of Discovery so far with all these brand new additions coming to Phase 3, let us know about it in the comment section below, and we'll talk about it in the next video. First comment asks about where Heroic Leap is, Titan's Grip, Bladestorm. I mean, all the cool warrior stuff. And I do have to agree, I think warriors have been kind of scuffed when it comes to runes and building a good class fantasy on abilities that are actually cool and unique and fresh to sod. But I will say, if Meat Hook actually comes to the game, which works as a form of Death Grip, and then Gladiator Stance actually ends up being good, I think warriors are going to be eating very, very, very good this phase, because they can only scale way harder as they level up more, get more talent points, more stats and gear. Everyone knows that by level 60, warriors are going to be probably like the best class in the game, and it's inevitable. Next up, we have Matthew stating, if you check out the abilities added in this patch, the mage's advanced warding ability says it does a lot more than the rune tooltip says. It makes wards castable on other people and makes your decurse also dispel a magical effect. I think this right here would make mages super valuable and bringing some immense utility to either a raiding environment and it would really help them drastically in an AoE farming, you know, for themselves or even boosting people. I feel like this edition is such a season of discovery type of thing to bring to the table, and I really want them to start doing this with a lot more of the other classes out there, even though I know it takes a lot of effort in coming up with ideas like this, so hopefully we get some more of that soon, more of that flavor for some of the other classes out there. Next up, we have Rister Monger stating that, I wish I had more time to play every class, and yeah, man, I just stated earlier, currently, I'm addicted to 4 classes at the same time, and I have no idea what I'm going to do next phase because I just want to play SOD all day, every day, and I'm a dead man at this point. I don't have enough time, so you guys got to let me know. Are you playing multiple classes? Are you guys going to be playing more than 2, 3, 4? You got to let me know in the comment section below. Ponderous Pug states that, I hope alchemists get flasks we can use outside of the Emerald Dream. Otherwise, the new crafter recipes will be very unfair to us. I mean, sure, the crafting recipes may be a little scuffed because you can only use them in the Emerald Dream, but I will say, we don't know how much we're actually going to be active in there. It could end up being a very big deal with all the new reputation rewards and events going on, so you could be making a lot of gold potentially. Not only that, though, you also have the Flask, the Potion, and Transmute Master coming into the game soon, so in my opinion, I think alchemy could be the best profession come next phase, at least for gold making. And lastly, we have Seawolf stating that the Warlock Lake of Fire nerf is going to hurt them so bad, it's so dumb. And yeah, all the Warlock players that I've spoke to are very, very upset about this nerf. And personally, I think it was a little too heavy-handed. I think it needed to get nerfed, don't get me wrong, because I think it was just way too strong to just instantly snapshot 50% damage increase. But rather than just gutting it completely, why not just reduce the percentage by maybe like 20 to 25% maybe? The thing is nobody is going to be casting a full duration Rain of Fire in a raiding environment, so it's just not going to be used. It's unplayable now. So hopefully sometime in the future, they actually make adjustments to it. Phase 3 is just a few days away, ladies and gentlemen. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to like and subscribe to get absolutely flooded with Season of Discovery content. I want to thank you all so much for watching this video. It's an absolute pleasure to be making content for you all. Until the very end, my name is Sky from the Comeback Kids. I will see you all in the next one. Peace.